Like I saw, which one are you gonna get? Are you gonna get the one with the discs, or are you gonna get the one without?
I'm gonna get the one with the discs. I feel like with the digital one, I would be.
I have
For
both.
me, for me, I like still using a CD. Call call me old school, but that digital for me is kind of fishy, kind of odd. Because even when I use a digital, when I've used a digital before, the digital download shit,
Yeah,
it's like it's like uh,
it's like
it's like if in any given time there could be a malfunction in the download, and then I gotta repeat the whole process, or I gotta wait until the thing clears and updates. Like no,
right 10 hours worth of download.
yeah. Or there could be oh better yet, the Wi-Fi isn't booting up fast enough, so I can't download it fast enough. So in that instance, I'd rather just do it the old-fashioned way. Give me the CD so I can burn it, copy it, then have it at my storage bank, and then we be all good from there.
Right, it'd be good.
Are
Cool.
we going to be able to play like previous PlayStation games like PS1, 2, 3, 4, all that?
No,
Because that's the one thing.
Or is it
that's all that. PlayStation 1 to 3 is all obsolete. Unless you have an account already that's paying, that you have to pay at least $14.99.
To get the downloads?
Yeah.
Yeah, for that reason alone, I might have to go digital.
I might do that though.
Yeah, but see, I don't know specifically about everything with the digital. All I know is with the disc, you still can play PS4 games, and with the digital, you can only use like it looks like you can use like this USB port where the game can be stored in, and you digitally download it, or you just digitally download it from the website. But what if the website crashes? Then what?
Okay.
What if PlayStation Store suddenly says bye bye for like a hot second, like they did with the Xbox, and that little malfunction, this hat bullshit, and all of a sudden, great. Now I'm stuck in this scenario. So you gotta be very mindful when it comes to those digital downloads. It sounds great, but for me, I like to have things in hand. I like to physically touch it.
Right.
You know?
The kids were roasting me earlier today at practice. I was like, man, I'm going to GameStop. And they was like, Chris, you still go to GameStop? I'm like, yeah, to see what's going on.
I still go to GameStop. Come on now.
Yeah, because, GameStop, call it what you want, but GameStop, if you think about it, GameStop is the last remnant of the 90s, bro. Wow. It really is.
I mean, if y'all rented your games from Blockbuster or Hollywood Video.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's. I mean, I've been said this where GameStop better up their game, pun intended. GameStop better up their game because right now, as we already see with the Xbox and with the PlayStation, excuse me, everything's going digital. So what does that mean now for GameStop? How are they going to enter into this new market where you don't necessarily need to go and wait for a game to be launched and premiered? Now you could just easily sit at home and buy it. And I no longer have to just wait and then the next day I pick it up. Like, it's good for what it was worth, but now you don't need to do that. And I'm like, yeah, I don't, but there's something sentimental about it.
Yeah. It's like I bought this on this day.
Yeah. Like, again, we're part of a generation. Like, how old are you guys, man? How old are you guys?
26.
26. Chris, how old are you?
25.
25. All right. I'm going to be 30 this year. I
Congratulations.
Thank you. I remember when I was around at least 5 or 6 years old, where you had to go to the Blockbuster just to pick up. No, I remember when Blockbuster didn't even have video games. How about that?
I remember those days.
Yeah, and then I remember you had to actually physically go and wait for something, or you had to actually rewind the tapes before you put them back. So, and it again, they were the times where things were a little bit simple, and you didn't realize just how the tasks behind them. Granted, not everything was a click of a button, but you at least was able to
have it.
Yeah, and it was in your possession, man. And not to say that the times now are worse off. Well, it depends, because again, how do I coin this just right?
They've somehow, while being simpler, have gotten also more complex.
Yes,
it did.
Thank you.
Trust me, that's already a thought that's already been going through my brain for the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Like I remember there was a time where you can go on AIM and talk to people just sort of random, and now you have Instagram, Twitter, and all this other shit. I'm like, what?
Oh, forget AIM. Remember when it was people just had AOL, and if you want to socialize, you had to go to the chat rooms?
Yes.
ASL, age, sex, location.
Yeah, and they always kicked you out if you started cursing.
Yeah, people used to talk so much shit on AOL Messenger.
Right.
So much shit.
Shoot, I remember going to like the local state park for like local meetups that my mom would do with like other chat room people.
Yeah.
What they would just be doing is like, oh, hey, it's a Sunday. Let's all do like flying kites together. Literally fly kites, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna go play at the beach.
Y'all remember online cafes?
Yeah.
Online cafes.
Shoot, remember when it was you had
online cafes?
Like literally a cafe with all sorts of computers on.
Oh,
it's like super 90s.
I remember those.
Like those were the places you would go to.
I never went to them,
but didn't have internet.
Great.
You would go there for them.
Yeah, I never went to them. That, you know what? That reminds me of Friends. That reminds me of Friends with the coffee shop. But then again, yeah, that was a 90s thing to do.
Shoot, that was the 2000s. Even when Wi-Fi first started in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
No, Malik, I'm still confused on when you said, do you remember when Blockbusters didn't have video games? I'm like, I'm only 2 years younger than you. And I don't know what's up with your Blockbuster, but my Blockbuster always had video games.
I really there was a time where they started doing it. There was a time when they didn't do it. Like it was just straight videos. And then eventually they transferred over and had video games. And I was like, oh shoot, video games, really?
Y'all remember the first video game y'all rented or bought from like Blockbuster or those other places?
The first video game I ever tried to attempt to rent.
Mine was, I believe, Atari Transformers from the Armada series.
I can't tell you from memory what my first game was of renting, just because like I already was starting playing video games as like a super young age. I'm part of that like generation where it's like they've literally just been playing video games at the age of 1 with controllers.
Yeah, that was me.
But I can tell you this much: the first game I ever regretted asking to rent, and it was Superman 64.
Oh,
Literally, I remember being
I
a
remember. Oh, I think I know about
little
that.
kid, like a Superman video game. This sounds awesome.
it was so pixelated. Ugh.
Oh, the controls, the whole scheme was horrible. Yeah, I remember
I remember reading reviews on that for a class of mine. It was so bad.
No,
Yeah.
what was so funny is I was like super young, elementary, like maybe like kindergarten or first grade or whatever. I remember us going at like just before dinner around 6 o'clock, getting home, playing maybe about a half hour to an hour, and then before closing, we already returned the game and got something else.
Mm.
It was bad.
What
Hey,
game
Chris.
did I try?
Chris, you remember renting Pac-Man World Free from Hollywood Video?
Yeah, I remember. We also did what was that? Cookies and Cream and
I hate that game.
Ratchet and Clank.
Ooh,
I
I rented the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man game. That shit.
first damn game over on a PlayStation 2.
I'm sorry. With
Boy.
the Tobey Maguire version, I was like, oh, I'm like back then. For me, those graphics were great.
They were great.
Back then I look at them now. I'm like, ugh, that was what I was playing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you what,
Still
though.
it had some good levels, like levels that actually made you think, like
The shocker
Shocker.
level.
Ooh.
I hate I hated it with the passion. I hated
Showdown with Shocker, where you got 5 tunnels. Let me explain. Showdown with Shocker, where you got 5 tunnels, 5 subway tunnels. You have to make your way trying to weave and wob over Shocker's blast, which was damn near impossible.
Right, because he engulfed the entire cave with his blast, and it was just like, if you miss by a landslide, if you miss by a small shot, you were gonna get hit. The slightest chance of you getting hit was very severe. And then, didn't the trains also pass by too?
No.
I thought they did.
No. You did. You did where there was a lever when you made it out of the tunnels.
Yeah.
But that was it. But the second hardest level would be sneaking into Oscorp.
Oh,
that brought me nightmares, man.
Yo, Oscorp with the robots and shit. Oh my god, the robots killed me, bro.
Sneaking into Oscorp, like episodes, just the chemical plant, the giant robot. I would have to say the easiest level of that would be getting out of Oscorp, because no dams were given.
Yeah, because you had to be on stealth mode 24/7 and hope you didn't get caught.
But its sequel, Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2, by far, goes down in the history books as the first open world game of Spider-Man.
With even still to this day, a remarkable as far as controlling the web slinging and all that was a phenomenal.
Yeah, for what it's worth for its platform, it's like you can't beat that.
Because Spider-Man ain't no 2D character. Like,
no, it's
it can't be restricted.
Mm-mm.
In fact, without Spider-Man 2, we wouldn't have like the new version.
Yeah.
Which I'm about to play both the Spider-Man right now and Miles Morales.
Oh yeah.
As soon as I get the PS4 or PS5, I am playing that all day.
Spider-Man is the only one I can honestly remember as far as of renting. That was probably one of my most rented games every time I bought it.
Spider-Man 2?
Oh yeah, that or back in the Nintendo 64 days, it was Pokemon Stadium 2.
Oh, we had the mini games and whatnot.
Not only that, but also just that whole like cartridge thing that you could hook up to, where then you could play. This was like mind blowing back at like late 90s. Like,
I'm gonna be honest.
There was a thing where you could hook up your actual Pokemon game to your controller. It would send it through the controller wire, and you could play your actual Pokemon game on the TV.
I think I heard about that. I think they advertised that at one point, and they had the Pokemons on the television, and it was like you can see it in real life on your screen. You can control it or something like that.
Yeah, it's like instead of having this little bullshit, no brightness screen, you'd be playing on your you could have like a 50-inch TV, which was probably considered big back then, and just.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really play that much 64. I was really more. I was really more like that Dreamcast, PS2 person.
Oh, Dreamcast.
Dreamcast is slept on.
Yes, I had a Dreamcast. Oh, one of the best games for Sega Dreamcast was Sonic Adventure. OMG.
The first time I got hooked onto gaming is where I saw that commercial for PS1, Sonic Adventure 2, where they were just doing City Escape.
Like
that's the whole thing right here.
Sonic was
oh wow. With the controller.
Wow.
You still got the memory unit?
Yeah, you get the memory card?
Oh, we didn't we had the memory card. It was pure memory. It was pure memory up here.
We had to play the whole game all the way over again every day.
To the point where it was like muscle memory.
Right.
I still have my Dreamcast.
That's how tough it was.
And one memory card.
Well, I think this replay and GameStop still sell deal. First of all, Dreamcast didn't really do memory cards. It was just that tiny.
Yeah, that was the memory
thing. That was the memory card.
That was the memory card.
Yeah, that was the memory thing.
I mean, shit. If you want to be technical, PS2, they had in PlayStation 1, they had their little ups and downs when it came in the memory card. That little small floppy disk drive looking shit. You had to stick in and hope
8 megabytes. Oh wow.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. During when the fam got like the PS2, we stocked up on memory cards. Yeah, a blue one, 4 black ones.
We had it in a holster.
Remember when the third parties, when they're like, yeah, you can get the official Sony one that's like 8 megabytes, or buy from us. Yeah, you can get the 8 for the PS2, or go to like the Mad Cats or whatever and get a 16 megabyte. And I remember everyone just going, yeah, exactly. Going, what?
That's a lot of space.
There was a 16 one. I only remember the 8.
See, that was the thing, it was one of those third-party ones like Mad Cats or...
so it was made out from an outside source.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. It's like, yeah, you can get that official one.
But I got introduced to the 64 a little bit late, where at a college party, they were playing Smash Bros. And Mario Kart 64, which I beat everybody in, but that controller layout was garbage.
It's just different.
I'm more like this. I had to play like.
Oh yeah, you're like.
I'm not a directional pad. I'm not a directional pad person. I only do that for like Mortal Kombat.
For which system?
64.
How it had that middle, like how it had that.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. I didn't.
No, that Xbox controller was too big.
Oh, it was big. Hold up.
you playing an Xbox game
right
hard,
it's
man.
a fucking laptop in my hands, bro. Like, come on. I remember I had the first Xbox.
But still, without Xbox, I don't think you would have had like that.
Oh, well, you have it.
Oh my God. I have it. That shit.
That thing is
like, bro.
The dinner plate.
Look at it. It's bigger than your hands.
It's bigger than my hand.
That's why I think PlayStation beat everyone out in the controller game, because you using small fingers. All you gotta do is just this.
Just look how massive this thing is in my hand. As far as like trying to reach for
what games are on Xbox?
Not many. I would say Halo, Gears of War.
The first
Halo.
Xbox?
I was hooked on
Like
Halo.
Hawk Down, you had.
Everybody was hooked on Halo, especially Halo 3 back in 7th grade.
Oh no, it was all about Halo 2.
It was Halo 2 was the one. Halo 2 was the one where I started thinking about when I started engaging in multiplayer and playing with other friends. It all started with Halo 2. You think about Halo 2 was before Call of Duty became what it is.
You know what's funny is at the very beginning, Halo wasn't even the thing that made me want to get an Xbox in the first place. It was Bloodwake, which was almost like a Twisted Metal, but it's like like Shogun at Japan, like with motor boats and guns and stuff like that. And Sega GT.
Sega GT. Oh yeah, I remember.
The level of customization, it was like Gran Turismo, but more. And then when they did GT online, it was like, well, shit. Now we can start, doing all these custom builds and all that, copying one another.
Would we even be like would we even be like online gaming if it wasn't for Xbox? I know you still had PC, but like at that time, I don't think there was any consoles that were like directly related to like online gaming more than like the Xbox.
I mean, if you're going to go as far as big level, no. But in all seriousness, though, Dreamcast definitely needs to get the recognition, because if it wasn't for...
They did have a link online.
Yeah. And I have one of the more of the original Dreamcast, to where when they were first partnering up with Microsoft. So when you look at the like right side of it, it'll say Microsoft Windows propriety, so that when you did the online play and stuff like that, it was all...
I think I heard about that one. The cross play. I heard about that.
Well, it wasn't even cross-play. It was just the fact that Microsoft got together with Sega and said, hey, we make PCs. We're the ones that, put people online. Who better to help you guys get your games online than us? Which unfortunately just Dreamcast couldn't make enough sales. So when Microsoft flopped, or when Sega flopped on the console game, Microsoft said, why don't we just take all that experience we just got from Sega and build our own console?
Speaking of Sega, I hate... I've been looking at both Xbox and PlayStation, and I'm like, I love both. Well, I love one system. I used to fuck with Xbox, but not to go off on a tangent. Do you see Sega making a comeback anytime soon? I mean, it's been years since they've tried.
With the games they had, I believe they could.
They had their flagship is Sonic, but it's hit or miss with that guy.
Yeah. Well, see, the problem is after, because they thought the company was going to be done for, but when they noticed that when Microsoft made the Xbox, and then they said, hey, we would like to bring some of your Dreamcast games to the Xbox, and we're willing to pay you for it, Sega at that point realized, well, shit, screw making consoles and games. We'll just put all of our chips into making games. Next thing you know, you have you have the 2K series of sports, like NFL. You got Sonic, all the video games, and the TV priority. They're still getting money off of. You got
getting money
in Japan, and a little bit here. You have the Yakuza series.
Oh,
that's a huge thing there too. Then you have what fighting game series was it? Was it Tekken or
Tekken was Namco.
Okay, I'm trying to remember which. Oh, Virtua Fighter.
Virtua Fighter. Yes, that was the one.
Yeah, so they're realizing that they're better off just making the games, and then just try to get it to as many consoles as possible instead of just trying to do their own console.
The funny thing is that Sega, along with others, pretty much had the console game on lock. I mean,
They did for a minute.
Like
PlayStation 2 came out.
They did until like you said, Chris. PS2 came out, and what happened was PS2 had those online features that they were starting to test out with, and also they had the dual play where you can play games and movies. Sega couldn't do that.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
The PlayStation was more like an entertainment system. Sets on the name. While
Sega could only play CDs. They couldn't play DVDs.
Which I will say this though, as far as
Chris, which was good at that time, but we're talking. But right now, you got like Blu-ray.
Oh, now we got that thing could be a DVD player, Blu-ray player. You can hack into the White House with a PS4.
Bro,
with that thing.
What was it I heard where it was like, what was it about the Navy and like a group of PS2s? Like they teach how to operate subs for cadets or something like that with PS2s or something like that. It was something ridiculous I heard where it was like, oh yeah, we took like 4,000 PS2s, fuse them all together, and here's our simulator that we built for cadets. I'm like, what?
I think I've heard of that story before. I might have to look it up.
I wouldn't be surprised if you think about it. Most of the simulations they have is like based out of some video game company that they probably rented out to and say, hey, can you guys build this simulator for us so we can like do this? I mean, have anybody ever seen Gran Turismo? That's a whole simulator right there.
Which one? The first one?
Simulator.
All of them.
Yeah, the first one was pretty good. Third one is good too.
Third one is all right. It's all right.
Look at playing Microsoft Flight Simulator from like 2010.
Wait, hold on. Speaking of Flight Simulator, you guys remember Star Wars Starfighter? Naboo Starfighter?
I hate that.
I did not like it.
I hated that game.
That was the worst game ever. I like
man, we couldn't get past the first level.
I didn't.
But Rogue Squadron, on the other hand.
Which one?
Which one?
The Rogue Squadron series.
Oh.
I've seen gameplay of that. That's pretty good.
See, that was as far as game consoles go, or yeah, as far as game companies go. I was essentially born as a Nintendo kid. But then after the GameCube, I never had another like Nintendo like console into the Switch. Never had a Wii, never had a Wii U.
I remember GameCube. There was one specific game that I wanted for a GameCube.
Smash.
No. Super Mario Sunshine.
Oh my gosh.
It was fun, but not as fun as like
I remember Galaxies.
Galaxy got weird with all the weird 3D like running around. My brain just could not.
Oh, and another thing, didn't Luigi step out on his own on the GameCube? Luigi Mansion?
Yeah.
Took him that long to get a game?
Well, no, he technically got a game back in the Nintendo and Super Nintendo, but that's a game that no one wants to talk about.
Damn.
Basically, it's like Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
Oh God!
But
hey man,
where in the world is Mario?
I was the first Instagram model. She was traveling everywhere. Don't know how she got there.
No, she was the first Instagram thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was. She was hopping around.
Like, why are you in Turkey? The next day you in Thailand somewhere.
Who's paying your credit score? Your credit cards?
What's your flight miles look like?
I want to know who her connections were when she got the sequel. When in the world? Like, hold up. What are you doing in the 18th century?
Yo, speaking of Star Wars though, back to that conversation. You know, EA just released another Star Wars flight game.
Yeah.
Squadron.
What they did? What?
I thought that was a series.
They're
Star
trying
Wars.
to Squadrons. Yeah, they're trying to go off of the whole Rogue Squadron.
It looks good. I gotta say,
it does, but I'm worried with it being EA how bad they're gonna,
I don't know. EA did a pretty good job with Fallen Jedi.
I have yet to play that.
I didn't see Fallen. I didn't play Fallen Jedi.
Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time.
Don't waste it.
You know why? All right. Fallen Jedi.
Like Dark Souls. Is it
Fallen,
true?
Yes. Here's why. The game, graphically and story-wise, is great. It's great story-wise. But as far as the technicality of it, I loved Star Wars. What was that game? The Force Unleashed, Part 1 and Part 2.
Oh, yeah.
I played that one. That was good.
That was him that was a Jedi, not even a Jedi, but that was a guy at his full potential who could do damn near anything. Bring down a whole Star Destroyer. This motherfucker, this motherfucker can't even hold his own against the weakest versions of a stormtrooper. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be a Jedi. Do some shit. Do some lightning shit.
I believe that Starkiller, that's his name, is like one of the most OP characters in the Star Wars history.
That's fine. That's great. But at least you felt. But didn't you have fun though?
I mean, only on a sadistic level. Like,
I mean, for the Force.
Now I take the stormtroopers and hold them over the edge, have them scream, and then let them go. Be like, all right, I've already had my fun.
Well, that would make you a sadistic bastard.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I said I only had sadistic fun.
Yeah, but you had this power. Yes, he had mass. Yes, he was OP, but you had this power. You felt like a fucking god. I wanted to get that out of this game. I was expecting what I got from Force Unleashed. I didn't get that from this one. I mean, graphic-wise, it was great, but again, you're learning, you're picking up, and I like how you can like update the gadgets and stuff like that. But there was just something that I got out of Force Unleashed that I just didn't get from this one.
Well, I think it was because of what was it, Star Wars Rebels, where he was only a little kid.
Yeah.
When Order 66 went off, so really he's not really a Jedi. He's still technically a Padawan because he never did the whole ceremony. Never got recognized. You know.
He cut himself out of the Force. That was the problem right there.
Yeah.
Right.
But as far as if you want to talk about being OP and everything like that, you know, even having yourself cut, but regain yourself. Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. Those are games, like, if you're into, like, the whole RPG thing, scene, those are games to play as far as storyline-wise, because you'd never realize, like, you're going through a whole tutorial, but then you find out throughout the story, it's like, oh, yeah, like, before the beginning of the game, you were actually pretty OP, but something happened, whether it was voluntary or involuntary, you know, being disconnected from the Force, and somehow you're so badass that as you're progressing through the game, you're re-becoming that said badass. And people are wondering, like, should they be proud that you're reforming, or should they be scared shitless again?
That's a good question. I didn't play that game. I played a lot of Battlefront and Battlefront 2.
I played that today.
I have beef with the current Battlefront. I felt like they should have had an online Galactic Conquest area.
Yeah, I'd rather do Galactic Conquest on the older ones.
I was okay. I was just glad that this one had a story, because when they first brought back Battlefront and they're like, oh yeah, it's strictly online, I'm like, I want a story. I want like some sort of campaign mission where it's like, I don't care.
Yeah, see, and that's this goes to my point again. The older being better. Like, I love Battlefront 1, and I especially love Battlefront 2. I felt like
first storyline.
It was the definitive Star Wars video game. It had the story, it had the emotional depth, it had, like, you were flying things in and out of people's spaceships, you were blowing shit up, you could have been a Jedi, you could have been a Sith.
You could be a villain.
That space gameplay could have been a lot better, though.
Yeah, you can actually control these machines on playing hard. The fucking AT-ATs and come on, man.
What faction did y'all play with? I was
Okay. This is what I do. All right, y'all gonna hate me for this. All right, I make a tally, right, of each like level. I play each level in instant action. I play each level as either. I usually do like the good guys. So if I do Clone Wars, I do the clones, and I do Civil War, I do the rebels.
Are they the good guys though?
That's why it's an oxymoron.
Yes, they're good.
Which one? The rebels?
No,
the
clones.
The clones. They're the good guys. Until 3. Until Order 66.
Yeah, but see, that means they were never good to begin with.
They was just when.
But were the clones? But were the droids good?
No. The only time I liked playing the droids were if I knew it was a level that had a lot of like short, narrow like corridors.
Man, like
just play the droidica.
The only levels that I dread playing against the droids is Geonosis and Camino. The worst.
Camino.
I actually like Camino.
That's my argument.
If you were the droids, you were great. But if you were the clones playing against the droids, oh no, you're about to lose.
Man, you know how many times Kamaya played as a droidica and just fell off Camino?
Yep.
The droidicas were dope though, because you could roll around anywhere. You could do your shield.
For real.
Fuck people up.
Pop up on nowhere, just kill everybody.
That's what I'm saying. Like levels on Camino, how you have the moment you get into that big center cloning facility, I would just unfold, stance up, turn on my shields, and just gun down the entire thing and be like, y'all gonna get through this alive.
I would cover every exit of that place.
Yeah.
That's a clone troop. That's a jet trooper.
This gonna be.
But I like the versus battles though, like versus against another person.
Oh my gosh.
That was.
If we can all play right now, Star Wars Battlefront, it'll be off the chain.
Like
if you see that victory typeface on your screen and defeat on yours, all you gotta do is drop your controller and say,
drop the mic.
Right, because
I'm sorry.
It was like a game of chess. You playing chess, literally.
Because you can screen watch.
Every piece mattered.
I was screen watching like a mug.
Anytime if you have friends, they're gonna play like a multiplayer, okay? And especially the best way to do it is if you can get like 4 Xboxes with some LAN connects and stuff like that. The only mode you should ever be playing, or I guess I should say 2 modes. There's only 2 modes you should ever do. 1 are the space battles. Okay. 2, and we're talking about we're talking about Battlefront 2.
Yeah, 2.
The space modes and
space
on Mos Eisley, the good guy versus bad guy were
underrated level. Underrated, most likely.
But just being the good guy versus bad guy, so you could have Luke Skywalker, Yoda, Han Solo, Chewbacca, and all
Darth
that.
Vader, Darth Maul.
Darth Vader versus Skywalker.
Yo, Darth Sidious was cheap. Darth Sidious was so cheap. He just straight lightning, and like, what is going on? And everybody, my whole squadron just kept getting killed by this guy. The best thing to do to kill Yoda was cheap too. No, the cheapest one was
Yoda on Kashyyyk with the Wookiees.
I didn't like that level Kashyyyk.
That was a good one. It was
okay.
Too.
No, because you know what? That little pocketed area, because like that little pocketed area where you go inside in the corner, that corner was a cheap shot.
That's the place, man. That's where you go to. That's where you go to square up.
It was still better than the one that was on Battlefront 1, because all that one was just it's middle of nighttime and you're just fighting like amongst like 8 like
their focus Battlefront 1, their focus was not on like 1, 2, and 3. It was solely on 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah. But well, that's because when Battlefront 1 came out, the 3rd movie hadn't even been released yet. They had some of the vehicles that would be in 3 just because they were able to get their hands on it early. But
that reminds me. what was your favorite Star Wars starship in any series?
I don't know the starships like that.
Like individual pilot ones, or are we talking like
Individual, group, anything.
Well, because I mean, like, are we talking like class ships where it's like how you could have like frigates and stuff like that, or just like individual
starships. And the clone dropships do count. Ooh.
Well, if we're talking about group ships, I always preferred the clone gunship as far as because I always treated that as like on Battlefront 2 or even on Battlefront 1 for Geonosis. I always treated that as like my Huey gunship where I would just start dropping pockets of people.
Oh yeah, I like that one. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the guy with the laser gun.
Oh yeah, that laser gun though. Mine would have to be the OG, the X-wing.
Nah, see, I thought the X-wing sucked.
Hey now.
No. See, if I'm gonna go with just the starfighters, I would have to say the Republic's Arc fighter, the one that had like where it was like 3 X's like this, and it had the backwards gunner on it.
Oh yeah.
Which one was that?
That was the predecessor to the X-wing though.
Yeah. Oh, but I thought it was better.
Wait, you mean the X-wing with the 3 wings? You had our pilot in front, pilot in the middle, and a pilot in the back.
Yeah. It was basically like you saw at the beginning of episode 3 with the stormtroopers. They would fly along with Anakin and Obi-Wan. That's the one I'm talking about.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
Oh.
If I had to say interceptor though, it would have to be either the Jedi Starfighter or what was the Rebel one? I think it was the
which one?
E-wing or A-wing or something like that.
Oh, the A-wing. Yeah, I mean, I like the X-wings. I don't mind.
I don't mind them.
Of course.
That's probably the only one I know.
I would love to have. I would love to flop form the Falcon.
Yeah.
Oh, see, if I'm gonna go off of like a ship that I would personally want, I want that sexy Naboo fighter.
Oh yeah.
This straight up looks like a sports car.
Yeah.
And it was quick too.
I actually had a 1-inch scale, a 6 scale miniature Star Wars Naboo fighter that I put together years ago when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, we had one too, Marcel. What happened to it? Hilarious.
Just something about just Naboo ships in general were just so like, especially Padme's royal ship. Like that just looked.
It
like
looked
so sleek.
Really.
Just basically, I would take whatever starship I can ever get from Naboo.
I think that was the point of it too, to make it look like royalty. Like you knew what you were dealing with. Like this was a high class group of individuals coming from another distant part of the galaxy that was well endowed.
But see, that was the thing though. Was like when you even look at their starfighters, it was just something like let's put it this way: if they were a real life car company of like the old days, it was like looking at an Italian car.
Mm-hmm.
It was like looking at an Alfa Romeo or looking at a Maserati or a Ferrari or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Definitely.
The dumbest one, though, I think we can all agree, though, is the that cloud ship, though, from Bispin.
Oh my God! Those 2 things on the side.
Yeah, that is the dumbest one.
That's the dumbest ship on the whole franchise.
We're gonna have it tandem, but not in the way you're thinking.
Best battle though on Battlefront 1, Cloud City.
Oh, okay. If you want to talk about cheap, that one is cheap because all you have to do for that one is if you're on the top, all you have to do is either if you maintain all of the platforms.
Oh yeah, you won.
All you have to do is just snipe everyone on the bottom.
I haven't played that. Wow, I haven't played. I'm just thinking about it. I haven't played it for so long. Wow.
Or if you get to play as the droids on that level, all you have to do is just stay up top with the droidicas, like I said, and just
Dave, if they take over, bro, they take over. You need to stop the droidicas from getting the command post.
Oh no, but that's what I'm saying. Is like no. But if you know how to use a droidica though,
oh yeah,
you control the game.
I usually don't play as the droids though.
Oh, like I said, I don't either because I prefer doing clone troopers and stormtroopers.
Oh yeah, because they be flying.
Blasters.
And they can fly.
Yeah, exactly. But any kind of, if it was a long corridor level though, like Cloud City, I'm playing as the droids because I know exactly if I don't, I'm gonna have to keep my eye like each time going like. I see you, Droidica.
What's the other platforms? That was the bottleneck level.
Oh yeah, like the three the three different, and then they all just be in the middle.
Be in that middle ground, that middle command post, and just fight to the end. I get like 20 deaths during that whole level.
All I had to do was I wouldn't even go like up close. I would just be in the middle, just hide behind a corridor and just ping ping ping. Pew, pew, pew. Just be super cheap. That or if I'm playing as the clones, be the pilot, get the gunship, and then because you had the other command centers on your side, I would just fly around and start dropping all those pockets so that they didn't have any spots. I was as far as I was a paratrooper / guerrilla warfare person in those games.
I was the best spy. I was like, get the fuck away from me. I was sneaking in and out of places. Literally.
Yep. It's just like, I'm going to get the command post.
Yep, that was me. I was sneaking all the way around the map just to get in one spot, and it never got me.
Oh, but Battlefront 2 though. Plays the Republic though. Be the commander. Ooh. With the railgun? Yeah.
Kamaria always played as the commander, and I was the droids, and I was like, all right, Kamala, let's go, and then she just shoot me with the machine gun. I'm like, all right, I'm dead.
Hey, she's
I'm like far away too. Like she'd be screen watching.
Good games.
Yeah.
Oh, Paulus Massa. That was a bottleneck level as well.
Which one?
Paulus Massa from level 2, from Battlefront 2.
Which one was that one?
The space one? Where you like if you walked outside, you suffocate to death? That one?
Oh wait, I think I recall.
Hold on.
So if you went outside, you would hit like the droid ship. Either you die from the droid ship or you'd suffocate because you'd be in space. Paulus Massa on Battlefront 2.
I'm trying to remember. Because I remember, hold on.
Level.
I remember the only one I could think of where it was somewhat in space was the Death Star level.
I forgot about the Death Star level.
Oh, I don't. All I had to do was just basically push everyone to the hangar and just let them keep that one spawn. Oh, it was a turkey shoot.
Yes, it was. And if heaven forbid, if they spawn Darth Sidious at that point, you were
my God.
Darth Sidious, you're in the middle hangar, you're done. You're done. Because all they,
why am I playing?
Especially if one or two soldiers went around you and started to flank you and you were like cut off, and then Darth Sidious gets spawned, and he's just like going just standing in one spot next to the damn command post. And you're like, why can't he just die? I was launching grenades like crazy, and it just like kill this guy, man.
He won't die though. He won't die.
Oh, okay. Pulse Massa was the medical facility level.
It was like the L one. It looked like an L.
It more looks like a U.
Oh yeah, U. It starts like here and it goes around to like it's a U.
What I miss? What are y'all talking about?
We're talking about Paulus Massa on Battlefront 2.
Not the biggest. I wasn't the biggest fan of that though.
No, it was the worst bottleneck in 1 or 2.
But see, a lot of times people get played though on campaign. You never really had anyone want to play it otherwise.
What game?
Like the only time you in Battlefront 2, you'd only see that level in the campaign.
Yeah, or instant action. Yeah, I just play anything.
Ooh, you guys talk about a throwback.
Oh my god, that's level 1, episode 1.
Yeah. Oh, did you guys ever see that all those memes for when the kid growing up, he got pulled over for speeding and stuff like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now this is pod racing.
That was actually one of the second best part of the whole movie.
I'll try spinning. That's a good trick.
Yeah, second best part of the whole. I'll try spinning. That's a good trick.
Honestly, was Jar Jar Binks really that bad?
He wasn't.
Like,
how dare you?
I mean, if we're talking about him as bad as a Sith Lord, yes.
Give him a chance.
Oh my God, quit that.
he was supposed to be the Sith Lord, though.
You know what?
Oh, he knew exactly what he was doing. He wanted you to think he was an idiot.
Right.
Well, I think
he handed emergency powers over to Palpatine. It was like he encouraged the idea. So it's like, this is all Jar Jar Binks' fault?
Think of it this way. An episode...
That's a low-key part of the whole movie that I forgot about. I'm like, he sure did do that.
Yeah. Episode 5, okay, when we're first introduced to Yoda, he's trying to play as the weird, senile, like, lost his marbles guy, but then just switches like, oh, you're actually super smart. You don't think Jar Jar did the same thing?
No, because I believe Jar Jar is clumsy AF, and if he actually was responsible for Naboo, that planet would be burning.
He's not clumsy. He is a master of the drunken fist.
Oh my
God. All right, Basil, you're about to be muted.
That's true. Because, like, let's think about it.
Master of the drunken Gungan.
Yes.
Like what, Jet?
I gotta give it to him. He did it.
How is it that super clumsy guy managed to take out an entire wave, by just tripping and losing all of those EMP grenades?
Hey, bro. You gotta do
I don't think those were EMP grenades. I thought those were just like energy balls.
Well, I mean, they were supposed to be like of an EMP effect.
Energy balls.
There was a lot of balls being float around, so yeah, somebody got hit.
Yeah. Speaking of balls and old games from earlier, the game that I'm more excited about, forget the Star Wars, Pokemon Snap coming back.
I didn't play Pokemon Snap.
That must have been like a
I played Need for Speed.
Oh no, this was before. Oh no, Need for Speed was around then.
Need for Speed Underground, baby.
Hey, Chris, I saw your face when I played.
Yeah.
What was it?
Get Low by
Shout out to Get Low.
Yeah.
I was like,
shout out to the best playing game.
No, you know what? I thought Underground 2 was better because that one was at least underworld. You can fully do more customization with your car.
Man, they gave us the freaking, what was that? The Kia, whatever that was. A Dodge Neon as a race car.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you gotta start somewhere.
No, bro.
Since we're talking about racing games, you can't forget the one that started this whole customization shit, which was Midnight Club Street Racing and Test Drive.
Midnight Club, yep.
I love Midnight.
I thought the first one kind of sucked, but number 2 though, that one was. I remember 6th grade. This was back in 2002, 2003. No, 2003 because I just turned 12. I remember getting a PS2 for my birthday with Vice City and Midnight Club 2. And
what was Vice City again? Grand Theft Auto?
Yep.
Grand Theft Auto Vice City was one of the best games around 2004. One of the 2004, 2003.
It was 2002.
I have that. I have Vice City as the second best on my GTA list.
It was the best all around because like I didn't really get into Grand Theft Auto 3, but when Grand Theft Auto Vice City came out and it was highly advertised, and I played it like heavily. I rented it one time and I played it heavily. I was like, yo, between the music, the violence, and the fact that I knew about how many ounces of cocaine I needed.
GTA taught you about the business. That's for sure.
Hey, honestly, I'll never be more proud than myself at 12 years old learning how to get an extra 25 health points and getting my money back,
Like, I beat up the prostitute and get my money back? That was like,
I'm going to get done with her and then run her over and be like, damn.
In the car, like.
Oh, so you have buyer's remorse, huh?
No.
Yeah, I did.
No, it's basically getting my cake and eating it too.
Right.
Oh, you definitely ate the cake as well. So.
See, I thought that was genius of me. My mom, on the other hand, though, she was like, "That's it. You're not getting another Grand Theft Auto game till you're 17."
Oh, she saw you killing the prostitute.
Well, no. What I didn't realize is I was setting myself up to get myself in trouble. I was like, "Mom, look what I just learned. Like, I've learned how to like get something and get my money back." And she goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Look, see, this is smart. I'm basically getting."
Well, I don't know much about Vice City, but I do know a lot about San Andreas.
See, I never got to own San Andreas when it first came out because I basically got myself in trouble. Because then that's when my mom started noticing exactly what the whole rating system was about. So, yeah.
My dad thought that.
He's like, "Oh, now I see why this game is rated M."
My dad thought that the R on the box game on the box stood for rated R. He didn't realize it was a Rockstar game. I was like, "Dad, no, that's not it. That's not it."
That's for movies, my man.
Like, no, that's not. That's the company.
Rockstar. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they have a rated R with a star on the bottom.
Right. Speaking of Rockstar,
I remember playing.
I remember Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Rock Band. You like Rock Band or Guitar Hero?
Guitar Hero first, then Rock Band.
See, I'm bringing that up. I didn't get into Guitar Hero because that button mashing shit, I wasn't with it. But I did get into. Hold on, since we're gonna go down.
Don't do it, Malik. Don't do it. Don't pull it out. I know what you're about to pull out. I know what you're about to pull out.
Is it Rocksmith?
Hero.
Is it Rocksmith?
No. I know what he's about to pull out.
Is it DJ Hero?
Yeah.
DJ Hero.
Yes.
I knew it.
Yes.
DJ Hero.
No, see, I liked
Guitar
Hero up to 3 because just like Dance Dance Revolution at the time.
Dance Dance Revolution?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good game too.
What people didn't realize in those early versions was you didn't need a dance pad, you didn't need a guitar, you could play it with the controllers.
Oh, I knew about that.
Yeah, I would do this and all that.
It was the aesthetic that drew us to us. I mean, like, how many games has like a full guitar controller with their game?
You can play the Guitar Hero with a controller, but we don't want to.
I did because I couldn't do. Look, I got these small fingers. I can't spread them super far. I can't do.
So you practice.
I never understood how people.
Look, this is why I played
that.
the violin. Okay, I had a little fingerboard. I didn't have to do this bullshit thing.
I played that a few weeks ago. It's been like 10 years since I played it. Like on and on, like days out of the week. I've had to start over from easy. I tried to start from hard. I got booed off the stage.
See, that's the thing. If you with a controller, because I had it down memory, where it's still to this day. L2 is green, L1 is red, R1 is yellow, R2 is blue, and then.
I think you know this.
Yeah, and then all I have to do now is just whether it's Guitar Hero 3 on older.
You might as well get an Apple Music subscription if you want to play with the button.
I do have an Apple Music subscription. But
not like Guitar Hero at that point.
The music for Rockstar, Guitar Hero, and DJ Hero. I would rank DJ Hero's music above rest of everybody else because they doing mixes that I didn't even dream of.
Right.
But I could at least play any song on hard then.
I remember they did it on Guitar Hero, the one that you did, Malik, when I came over. It was The Message and Jungle Boogie from Kool and the Gang.
Oh.
Don't push me, cuz I'm close to the edge. So they dropped the Jungle Boogie. I was like, hey.
But I will say this, though. When Rock Band came out, though, and they brought out drums, I'm like, oh, okay, then.
I never got the drums.
The drums were more simpler than the actual guitar.
Right.
Oh, but see, for some reason, I could do the drums better.
Because you're doing this.
No. How about the microphone?
Fam.
Well, I'm monotone as hell. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I do a baritone. That thing can barely pick up my voice.
Well, no, my problem is with me being monotone. I can't do the pitches and stuff like that. So I would be like slightly moving it and be like, man, fuck this game. It's broke. And then
you broke.
Exactly. I've accepted the fact that I'm broke.
I remember playing my first hard song on Guitar Hero. It was,
which one was that?
Bulls on Parade.
Bulls on Parade? That was not hard. How was that hard? Oh, the Morella part, the Tom Morella part on hard. Yeah, I understand.
That's what got me into Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got into them before that.
Oh, no, for me, it was all about Tony Hawk Pro Skater. That's what got me into. That's what got
Everybody
me
had that game. We never had
everybody.
Now we're talking like oldies.
Yeah.
Like, to me, what got me into started me off was I had the demo for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on like the Dreamcast, and I was playing that sucker, and that shit was fun.
Oh, Malik, going back to how when I first came in about like things like going back to the simpler times, the moment you said demos and you brought back like Dreamcast and PlayStation, all that, demo discs.
Demos.
That's the thing that kids will never understand. One, a demo.
Never.
And then two, just a demo disc. Like, wait, a disc that's just full demos?
They won't know.
Games. Mind you.
Full games.
You had to pay for anything. You had the same
trailers.
You could play any one of those levels any way, which way you wanted at all times, and you still be entertained within the time frame that they gave you to play.
Y'all remember?
And the best part about it was a part of the system.
Exactly.
Y'all remember some of those demo discs that were, I want to say, like they were given out with Pizza Hut or something like that?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Or how about they had demo discs in the magazines after you purchased them?
Oh, the Game Informers?
Game Informers?
Yes.
Yes. Game Informers.
Dude, the last demo disc I ever had was when Just Cause 2 had just came out around 2010.
Wow.
Man.
Oh,
I don't think they even do demo this game.
no, they don't.
They don't. You have to pay for it.
Well, just what it is you just don't get people doing demos. What they'll do instead is they'll just watch your influencers just play these like half-hour demos that they were able to get, and then be like, "All right, that's enough that we're gonna go off of." It's like you didn't even get to play the demo. You don't even get to any of that fun. You have to wait till the full game is out. Or if you're lucky, you get to pay money into an early access game, which is still currently being built.
I never understood that.
Like the beta system, the beta games that you would have to play before they launch. But it was like, that's not what it used to be about. That's not.
I was saying, anytime when it was the beta, you got to play for free.
I got into a game recently that's like well before. Like it was part of EA Big, the creators that did like NBA Street, NFL Street, which I will take. I will take you on at any time, any place.
I would love to play, and I've been trying to find NBA Street for cheap for quite some time.
NBA Street.
Yeah.
Like FIFA Street is pretty damn good.
Oh, FIFA Street is horrible.
FIFA Street is pretty good.
FIFA Street's the best one. And
man, NFL Blitz is
NFL Blitz.
Okay.
Plays over. Stop it.
Pile drive.
I hate it. I hated the plays. It was only pass. No run. No run.
They were blitzing, bro.
There were runs. They were just
blitzing.
But that stiff arm cutaway, you just hear the bells ringing.
Like,
and also what Malik said, I ain't gonna lie, I pile drive our wide receiver too.
Illegally.
Oh no! For me, I was always one of those where it's like, oh, you just got a touchdown on me. I'm just gonna hit your guy from behind. Like in real life, it would be personal foul, but it's like. This is NFL Blitz. I'm gonna hit.
There's no foul.
Yeah.
Roughing the passer or something like that.
They had the nerve to have the disclaimer come up and say you legally inclined to do anything you want. Yeah.
They used to drop. Wait, they used to drop the big leg on they used to drop the big leg on quarterbacks, man. But back to the game that I started to get like. Noticing from was SSX Tricky.
Yep. See, I remember.
I'm like, I want to play this.
I remember when 3 came out, and I was like, "Oh, this is sweet." And then they came out, and I remember the trailer for Tricky. How it just had Run DMC. I'm like, "Oh, well, I want to play this now."
That's pretty good game.
Yeah, that was like the Tony Hawk. It was like Tony Hawk meets snowboarding.
Well, no, I guess, yeah. For me, it was always more 1080 snowboarding. It was kind of more like that.
Because I remember if I could play like that the same way I did like Sonic Riders, all tricks perfectly.
Sonic Riders, that is an underrated game.
We couldn't play the Babylon stage, man.
I could.
An underrated game.
Just don't play it on the Kinect.
An underrated game.
It's horrible on the Kinect.
I played it on a PS2.
I go no farther than the first one.
An underrated game would have to be Tony Hawk's Pro Skater Underground.
Yeah.
For me, Underground 2.
Yeah. Like you can grind anything. You can grind telephone poles, and then like
telephone wires,
string wires.
You can get an air boost, like an ollie boost, jumping over a bowl.
Right.
So what games are you what games are you guys going to be playing for the PS5 though?
Spider-Man.
I'll probably get Spider-Man.
Chris, you playing Spider-Man?
If I get it, shoot.
You're not much of a superhero person.
For the culture.
Yeah, plus it's Miles Morales, man. You can't beat that.
I'm doing it for the culture. I'm not gonna play it, but I'm just gonna buy it for the culture.
I'm getting the mini fridge, so.
Dang.
Okay, priorities.
It's gonna be kind of hard.
I'm not really rushing out to get a PS5, but because I don't play games like that anymore. But
But the one game that I plan on playing for PS5, they brought my boys back, Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, you know, I actually like what they did. I've never played Ratchet and Clank, but I like the whole Doctor Strange teleportal thing that they got going on.
Yeah.
Interdimensional realities where you can go.
There needs to be some Rick and Morty vibes to that stuff, man.
Yeah, I see where they were going with it.
But Insomniac been killing it for PlayStation. They brought us the Spider-Man game and all others.
How about that adventure game? It looks like Lara Croft adventure, but it's not.
Right.
Where she's like in the wilderness or something, and she's surviving on her own.
Horizon.
Yeah. Well, it was that one. Was another one. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it looked like a scenario fleshed out straight from Tomb Raider. And it's a woman, and the environment that she's in, like the environment itself it's so fucking vivid, it's so fucking real. That is.
I think I know what you're talking about.
They showed a demo for it, but I can't think of it off the rip.
Mm.
It looked like they tried to pull a scenario with having like this open world Lara Croft video game scenario going on. So I said,
Did she have like a staff or something?
Huh?
Did she have like a magical staff or something?
Nah, I don't think she got a magical staff. She's regular plain clothes, and she's in this mountain trying to escape from like this rubble, and she's jumping from one side to another side, literally hopping her ass away over.
I'll have to look that up. But with the PS5, with every good game must come to an end. Resident Evil is ending.
Yeah.
Well, I mean with 8?
Yeah, that's the last Resident Evil.
I could not get into Resident Evil. I could not get into it.
I went to play one at Target, when they had the little games that you can try it out.
Oh, yes.
I was like, nah, fam, I ain't playing this game no more.
The jump scares were criminal.
Dude, I remember being a little kid when 2 first came out and had the spiders and everything like that. I was like, no, I'm good. The fact that my cousin who would babysit me would be playing that game on my Nintendo, be like, no, get this off. I want to play Mario Kart.
No, what scared me as a child was House of the Dead, part 1 and 2.
No. Arcade?
Yeah, see, that never scared me, but I think it's because I would go, like, on my mom's bowling nights. I would just go with her, and I would just be playing that on the arcade. So that never really scared me.
I was playing that shit at home on the demo.
Man, I remember Resident Evil 2, Nemesis. That Nemesis character scared the piss out of me.
I was going to say, if you want the new one, like the remake, they made Nemesis like really like at the times when he comes out,
he either comes out as an A, like a bullet, or B, when you're like in the toy store and you're like getting like the keys and whatnot, he's staring at you out the window.
Oh, I know. That's what you're like, oh, I hope you're just like, I hope that's all you're going to do is stay right there.
The fluffy is.
Yeah, I know. It's like, well, now I don't want to leave.
I ain't going nowhere, fam.
Like, well, I guess I'm going to turn the game off for the night.
And the fact that he follows you onto save points. You're like at a save point, you're like, good, I'm safe, and then you see Nemesis just bend over, open up that door, and you're like, what the heck?
Nah. One zombie game that came out in the 2000s that scared the bejesus out of me was Left 4 Dead.
I was never a big fan of that game.
That shit. You need to have the whole team ready to play that game.
I just thought it was still pretty remarkable by the fact that they created an engine that still holds up to this day, that it goes strictly off of what everyone's skill level is. If everyone sucks, it's going to baby you. But if everyone's good, it's like, all right, 10 to turn them to 11 and just, run your guys to shit.
You're on your own, fam. You on your own. Tell you the truth, I've never really played a horror game that actually legit scared me, other than
Which one?
I have one for you then. Fatal Frame.
I don't really play horror games, so I can't really.
On the PS2, get Fatal Frame 1 and 2. That is something that will make you piss yourself. Even in the middle of the
I don't want to play it then.
Because I want to say the one thing that scared the piss out of me, and it wasn't even a game, that shook me so bad that I couldn't even leave my dorm room was y'all heard of the movie Dead Silence?
The what?
Movie Dead Silence. It's a doll movie.
I like movie.
No. Fluff them dolls. Fluff them dolls.
Oh. Dang.
Donnie Wahlberg's in it.
Yeah, he is. The ghost rips people's jaws off for screaming.
That's mean.
It's on Netflix. I would strongly suggest you guys watch it. Just not with me.
It looks like the same doll that in 2.5 Men, when Alan's character, when he tries to get into ventriloquism, it looks like the same exact doll he uses.
But fluff them dolls, fluff puppets,
Fluff them dolls.
fluff the Chuck E. Cheese animatronics.